You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the April 15th meeting for the Michigan City Common Council Finance Committee. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Michigan City Finance Committee meeting. Today is April 15th, 2025. We will start off with roll call. Dr. Cora?
Present.
Mr. Beardry?
Present.
Tracy Tillman? Present. We do have a quorum. Moving on, we will start off with the Michigan City Riverboat and Boyd claims docket for April 15, 2025. Riverboat Fund number 2235, $18,899.93. Riverboat Fund EFT, Fund number 2235, $0. Boyd Development, Fund number 2504, $0. The total claims is for the LaPorte Chrysler, Inc. Totaling claims is $18,899.93. May I entertain a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Beardry and a second by Dr. Kaur. All those in favor by acknowledging aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Motion carries. Also, on the City of Michigan City 2025 Riverboat Rainy Day Fund Statement of Cash Position. Fiscal year to date, April 30th, 2025, Fund Type 2235 Riverboat Fund, ending balance $1,363,081.36. Fund Type 2236 of the Rainy Day Fund, $1,848,763.71, bringing that to a grand total of $3,211,845.07. Also, to bring it to everyone's attention on the City Council for this evening, we will be having Baker Tilly, Municipal Advisor, bringing a presentation of the 2024 Michigan City Redevelopment Commission of TIF Management Report. Also, during the City Council meeting this evening, we will be on the second reading in regards to approving additional appropriations in the budget of the General Fund number 0101 for the Vector Control Department. Are there any questions from the committee?
Madam Chair, I have a question for our controller, and this is from the handout that we received, the LaPorte Chrysler debt. I understand those are all for monthly payments. Monthly payment. There are a couple of sheets behind this. The police department, I didn't know what those were yet.
Correct. All those are the purchase. When we initiated the lease agreements back in, I'm not even sure, I think 2022, you can see by the purchase order number at the very beginning, what year we entered into the lease agreement.
2022.
Yes, we encumbered the entire amount of the money of the leases. So we basically encumbered, locked up that money, and we're paying on those purchase orders. So all that is just informational purposes showing that there's still balances in that purchase order. We're paying for purchase orders from purchase orders that we established a number of years ago. Those are the same purchase orders that you approved the encumbering over into this year in 2025. This
And
way we were assured that we have all the monies available to pay the leases in full.
And these are all for lease payments.
Yes, correct, absolutely.
Great.
But
Thank
it was just kind of for information to show
Okay.
the purchase order that we're paying from and the balance remaining in the purchase order.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mary Lynn. Are there any other questions from the committee? I would like to open it up. Are there any comments from the public?
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor.
Well, I did want to provide an update. I know that we have on the agenda tonight a resolution in opposition of Senate Bill 1. Uh, well, just know that last night they didn't even get to Senate Bill 1 on the floor until 10:30 last night, and it was passed after midnight, and Senator Braun signed it into law. It was Governor Braun. Thank you. Governor Braun signed it into law last night. And this comes on the heels of a lot of protests against Senate Bill 1 and the impact it's going to have not only on local municipalities, but also on the schools. Um, I haven't had a chance to digest or get our financials yet. So, one couple of things that have been provided though on the IGA website was the fiscal impact for the counties. So I do know that for LaPorte County for 2026 for fiscal year 2026, we're looking at $5.33 million for 2027, we're talking 6.3, and for 2028, about almost $6.5 million, of which Michigan City is the largest city, which will bear the brunt of a lot of that overall. I can tell you that the public schools, are looking at $744 million in cuts over the next 3 years. So it's significant and it's going to impact our residents. One of the comments that was made is that, two-thirds of property tax, homeowners are going to see relief in their property tax bill, two-thirds. Well, what they're not saying is that they're pushing it down on the cities to provide, to push for legislation for local income tax, which offsets that. You're going to be paying more, actually. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a little break on your property tax, but you're going to lose services locally. And then it's going to be on the council and myself to figure out how we're going to fill the gap with local income taxes. So it really is no savings, right? So we're going to have to think smarter and think about, once we get our numbers, get the information for local road funding. I know that changed. And I will say, though, Senator Bohacek and Senator Poe both voted against Senate Bill 1 yesterday. So our local senators voted against it. So, reach out and thank them for that. But I think they're really putting the pressure on the schools to figure out and the cities to figure out how we're going to provide services. So, good try. Everybody's been going down state and lobbying, for a different outcome. I will say though, one of the outcomes from last week though, that the business personal property tax, that was amended out of the bill. So that was going to be critically, that was going to be harsh for Michigan City. So they did amend that out of the bill. So that was a plus. Like I said, there were like 40 plus mayors that went down and lobbied with the legislators, and everybody told them that the councils were going to pass these resolutions, and so that did get removed. So that was a good thing. Even though we didn't get it passed, they knew it was coming. That did get removed from the bill. So that was a plus. So I thank all of you for your patience, but it's probably going to be another week or so before we really know the true impact of what that looks like for us as we plan for the next budget cycle.
Angie, if that personal property tax thing had not been taken out, what would have been the impact for Michigan City from that particular provision?
So what I gave you all, that document was, so basically, I gave you the impact for Senate Bill 1 and House Bill 1402. House Bill 1402 basically was amended into Senate Bill 1. So that's what happened in the second half of the session. And that's where the lit, the business personal property tax, all of that was included. And that's how we got to that $12 million hit that Michigan City would have seen. That would have been what we would have, that would have been the impact. So now we need to just go back and have the finance people that are smarter than me do all the financials to figure out what that looks like for us. But that's why, we're still going to have to look at other ways to fund things. We're still going to have to look at the wheel tax. We're still going to have to look at, and I wish we had done it this year, the food and beverage tax. Let our visitors help pay for our services, because we know that our population swells by tens of thousands of people in the summer. We still got to provide services. So a food and beverage tax, let people who come to visit help pay for some of this stuff. But those are the things they put into the bill where, we can pass a 1.2% local income tax now. But again, you cut property tax, but you want us to raise taxes. So make us the guilty parties, make local government guilty for raising taxes that, quite frankly, I hadn't heard a whole lot about people complaining about. So as far as, property taxes, we're one of the lowest in the nation already. So it's interesting that that became a fight, that we got to lower property taxes. But again, we'll see what the damage is, and then we'll plan accordingly. Any more
Thank
questions?
you. Were there any other questions for the mayor?
All right, thank you.
There are not. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Are there any other comments from the public? Any comments from the public? If there are none, may I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.